now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, new moon.
God. Shabbat shalom, Israel. Happy new moon to all that's coming. Let's get it.
Pray that everyone is having a blessed Shabbat, new moon Shabbat. So we're gonna get into. We got a nice little lesson for you. Got a little joy we're gonna be talking about.
That's
so
right.
Pray for salvation. Wormwood cometh to kill. Cometh to kill.
Wormwood.
That's right. So as we're witnessing live right before our very eyes, things are happening like crazy. Especially me and Brother Aton was talking about these illegal immigrants coming in, especially if you notice that a bunch of Chinese people and people from Venezuela have been coming in, middle-aged men of fighting age, have been coming in, no families and nothing, just rolling in, about 10,000 a month, 10 or more, anywhere from 10 to 20,000 per month, y'all. That is crazy.
Man.
That is crazy.
Hey, you know what else is crazy too, Hawk? We've had an influx of Venezuelans in the dojos, like in a lot of the martial arts schools and the MMA schools that I frequent and I go to and train. Man, we've had a huge influx of them. They're just coming in left and right.
And y'all know Venezuela. Y'all know who Venezuela is allies with, right? Russia and China. Russia and China already got little military bases secretly over there that most folks don't even know about. So hey, getting into Wormwood, but before we hit Revelation, I want to hit some precepts, and let's kind of break down what Wormwood really is, so we can set a foundation. So by the time we go to Revelation, it'd be much clearer what's going on here. So I'm going to pull up two different kinds of definitions for this. One's going to be from the Blue Letter Bible, and Brother Aton, man, just we know how we do, man. You want to interject, man? Just come on in. So I wish I could. If I press the sound, you're not going to be able to hear it because it's coming through my headphones. But it's pronounced la an ah, and that's wormwood. So it's believed to mean, when you look at it right here, from an unused root supposed to mean to curse. Wormwood regarded as poisonous and therefore accursed. It's interesting because when it talks about wormwood in Revelation, it talks about it being bitter. So let's look at it from another perspective here. Hey, brother, can you see it on the screen? Is that big enough?
Yep, it's loud. Yep, it's clear. All right. I see some heathens on there though. What's going on?
Hey, that's going to get destroyed. It says aspenthos is believed referred to a plant of the genus Artemisia used metaphorically to mean something with a bitter taste. The English rendering wormwood refers to the dark green oil produced by the plant, which was used to kill intestinal worms. Interesting.
Okay. I got a picture of the plant too over here.
Yeah. Let's bring it up. It says in the book of Revelation, it refers to the water being turned into wormwood, made bitter. That's very interesting when it talks about that. And as we get closer into it, it's going to get more meaning because we're going to bring out some precepts as well. One in Deuteronomy, one in Jeremiah, and one in Amos, one in Proverbs, and a couple of other more until we get to Revelation. So,
all right.
You want to bring up that picture out?
Yeah, I'll show it real quick. And one more thing concerning wormwood, right? While I bring this up real quick, can y'all see that, Israel? Or do I need to build? I make that bigger.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
I see it.
All right, Con. This is common wormwood right here. The thing also about this plant is that it's poisonous. Right? You have to take it in small doses in order for it to kill intestinal worms. But at large doses, if it's unchecked, right, this is a poisonous plant that can kill you. Right? Wormwood, it has a bitter taste, right? But it's a poisonous plant that can kill you. All right, Salaki, go ahead, Ak. Back to Brother Daniel.
All right. So now that we brought this out, we're gonna bring up some scriptures that really bag what we're saying about this. It's pretty interesting, when we go to read the scriptures and how the scripture just brings all of this out. So go ahead and turn to Deuteronomy, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29. And as you turn there, it's going to be verse 18. All right, let's get that here. All right, y'all should be there by now. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how we roll. Y'all know we carry the scripts with us at all times. All right, so verse 18, Deuteronomy 29, it says, "Lest there should be among you, among you men or women or family or tribe whose heart turns away this day from Yahweh El knew to go and serve the Eloah of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that bears gall and wormwood." So remember we read about the wormwood being a poisonous bitterness type, and what Brother Aton showed you. And it's as we read through the scriptures, if when the Most High brings destruction, He always uses the natural elements in nature to destroy the earth. What did He use the first time? What was the very first thing He used in the judgment of the earth? It was a flood, right? What did He use to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? He used fire and brimstone. And throughout the scriptures, He used winds and storms and all that kind of stuff to bring judgment and destruction. All right.
Con.
Brother, you got anything to bring out before we go to Jeremiah?
Nah, brother,
Jeremiah,
man.
15. All right.
All day. Do your thing, huh?
Yeah. It is, man, and it's mentioned quite a few times throughout the scripture. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 9. And let's look at verse 15.
Bring it out.
All right. Bring that up here. So I'll see that. All right, it says, "Therefore, thus says Yahweh Sabaoth, the Eloah of Yasharel, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink." Even this people with wormwood. So Most High somebody, He's about to poison up some folks. Man, Most High don't play, y'all.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. And now it's going to make sense when He turns all this on our enemies. All right. Let's go to. You got anything you want to bring out on this note?
Nah, con, man. Keep it up, Op.
All right. Let's go to Amos. Amos chapter 5. And let's look at verse 7. The book of Amos chapter 5. Bam. It says, "Ye who turn judgment to wormwood and leave off righteousness in the earth."
Right. What do you notice about every time that wormwood is mentioned in the scriptures? Right. It's nothing positive. Right. It's always got something to do with negativity. Right. Something that's deal with sinfulness, or have you in the straits. Wormwood is never a good thing. Right. So much so that we'll see that when we get to Revelations that the Most High named a star Wormwood. Right. He names a whole star Wormwood. And every time, when you look up in the sky and they say, the heathens literally tell you what it is without even knowing. They'll say, "Oh, look, a fallen star." Right. Sometimes you see those streaks in the sky, right? They'll be like, "Oh, look, a fallen star." Right. We know from the scriptures that it's possible for stars to fall. They're not going to fall, and you don't see them hit the ground and make no big old crater in the ground and nothing like that. No, man. The Most High has it so things burn up before they hit the atmosphere.
Right. And whenever you see that, I know it, man. And you made me think of the verse. Now I can't even think about it, but I believe it's either in Enoch or Jasher. It talks about whenever a saint or righteous passes, that's supposed to be a implication.
Oh, con.
But I remember how it was. I can't quite remember how it was worded, but that's how it was, verbatim. But that's how it was pretty much worded. And anytime you see something like that, you're seeing a righteous that is falling into sleep, righteous sleep, which I think is pretty amazing.
That's right.
All right, let's get one more before we hit Revelation. Let's go to the book of Lamentation. All right, the book of Lamentation.
The book
And you
of
know
Lamech.
and you know what's interesting, Israel. When we start to read, and we was talking yesterday, like when our people are really keeping the commandments, and you begin to see things that other people can't see. It's like the Most High gives you wisdom beyond anything that you can ever imagine. And this is why it's so important, is especially in these time and days, to really grasp and make haste to keep these commandments. Why? Not only for salvation, but for the sake of turning back to your birthright. Because this is what it's all about. You know, the Most High, we didn't create the Most High. The Most High created us. All right, we were created to obey His words. We were created to procreate and fill the earth. But things, we already know that things went terribly wrong after Eve went off, and Adam got the blame for it because he chose the Almighty. He chose the Most High over his woman,
God.
which led to everything else. All right, let's look at Lamentation. Lamentation, chapter 3 and verse 15. It says, "He has filled me with bitterness. He has made me drunken with wormwood." All right. I just wanted to read that part because, like Brother Eitan said, every time you read wormwood in the scriptures, it's always related to some kind of destruction or punishment. All right.
That's right.
And we wanted to really bring this out so that way we set the grounds when we go to Revelation chapter 8, and when we read, then we can see, okay, this is the judgment that the Most High is getting ready to bring on. But everything that we've read up thus far, when it gets to Revelation, it's going to be 10 times worse. It's going to be heavy, y'all. So let's go ahead and go there now. Put Revelation chapter 8. And so we're gonna start with verse 1. We're gonna start with the first trumpet. Now, do any of y'all believe? I'm gonna put y'all answer this if y'all want to. Does anybody believe that any of the trumpets started falling yet? Who in here believes? If you believe that the trumpets have started falling, put a 1. If you don't believe that they started falling, put a 2. If you believe that the trumpets, because you got people out there that's starting to teach that, the trumpets are falling. Okay,
That's right. We're in the sixth trumpet and all this other stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. All right. Nope. Because trust me, when those trumpets fall, y'all. Oh yeah. The whole world, everybody's gonna know it. Everybody on the face of the earth is gonna know it. It ain't gonna be no, here this little area, and then only a few people know about it.
I sincerely think that we're gonna hear it, like literally hear it, so we know for a fact that the Most High God in heaven exists. I think that the days are going to be gone when the curses come upon the earth, the tragedies when they come upon the earth in those days. I think that there's not going to be any question whether or not the God and the Almighty God exist. They're going to know.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to know that judgment has come upon the earth. Best believe that.
And you know what else too? You know how all these scientists and NASA has been trying to hide that the Earth is flat, and they've been showing you this spherical Earth and everything. All that stuff is getting ready to be blown out the water, y'all. Like how much, especially as technology increases, and that's why technology can only increase so much, because if technology were to increase full blown, man, people would realize, man, that the Earth was flat, because people would have the ability to fly a drone way up in the air and could see that the horizon would just go beyond anything that you can ever see. All that's getting ready to be blown out the water. Brother, I'll read the first 5, man. If you want to get the next 5.
Oh, Con, okay, bring it out.
All right. So, let me get back to the. So, yep, great. So, the trumpets have not fallen yet. They have not fallen yet. And anybody who are saying that the trumpets are falling are lying to you and lying on the Most High.
Con.
All right.
I wanted to start at verse 7. You want to start in verse 7? And then read down to 13 and read down to the end?
Let's see. When you want to start at verse 7?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
start verse 7.
Okay. So let's start at verse 7, and we're just going to get straight into the angel. It says the first angel sounded, and there followed hail mingled with blood. And wow, man, let me read that again. It says the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. Now, has anybody seen this yet? Anywhere? I ain't talking about no, okay, I ain't talking about now. We've gotten hailstorms in the past, and I've seen hell and like with my own eyes. I've seen hell as big as little miniature size golf balls. I've seen the damage that hell can do to windshields and windows and rooftops and what have you. But I've never in my life seen hell mingled with fire and blood.
Man, listen, Israel. When the first angel sounds, right, and hail, fire mingled with blood. If you remember in Exodus, this is not something spiritual, right? This is nothing. This is not make believe. This is really what's going to come down to strike people on the earth. It's going to come from the heavens, which means it's going to come from the firmament above. It's going to open up, and then boom, we're going to be getting hit with these plagues, right?
That's
We're going
right.
to be getting hit. I mean, like if you're not right in the scriptures, you're going to die. If you're not
Yeah.
right with the Most High God, if you haven't repented of your sins, if you're alive during this time, you better pray, right? You better pray that you don't die. But a lot of people are going to die. We're going to continue to read, right? It's going to be a lot of death, a lot of blood, a lot of destruction upon the earth. And it's not coming from, nuclear missiles and none of this nonsense that you might listen to when you hear these camps. Right? It's coming from the Most High God.
Now let me go back. I want to bring out a point here. That's why I wanted to kind of start off with verse 2.
All right, we can start with 2.
So
that's cool.
So yeah, but let's go back up because there's some things I want to bring out here. So let's look at verse 2. All right, at the beginning of this, it says, "And I saw the 7 angels which stood before Elohim, and to them were given 7 shofars." All right, now we know that shofars are what? Shofars have been used throughout the Torah to prepare for war, warning, and destruction. All right, remember that when they marched around um, Jericho was 7 days, and they blew them trumpets, and the Most High put the power in them shofars, and then all them infrastructures came down. All right, this is the beginning. This is why we know that this has not happened yet, because many things that are happening now are going to lead up to it, but we ain't seen nothing yet. All right, so I wanted to really bring that out. You all can just read the rest of it. So I'm going to go back to verse 8. All right, on the second trumpet, it says, "And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire, and was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood." Now, I want y'all to notice something here. Now, when you read in verse 7, it says, "And the third part of the trees was burnt up with this hail mingled with blood and fire." And then when you go down to verse 8, it says that, "And the third part of the sea became blood." All right, you're going to notice that the third part is going to mention the third part each time. That's a huge, y'all. That's huge. And when you equal up all them third parts, you're going to come up with a really huge area. All right, let's go to verse 9. And into the third, it says, "And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed." Wow. So the third part of the life that was in the sea, and the third part of the ships. So imagine, I don't know if you ever been on a battleship, but when I was in Pearl Harbor, I used to go tour the different ships. Man, those ships are huge. You have your battleships, and then you have your carrier ships. Your carrier ships are the ones who they transport all your jets and all that kind of stuff. Your F-10, 12 fighters, and all that. Your Chinooks, Blackhawks, everything. You can land all them boys on there, and they can hold up to like 2,000 almost 2,000 personnel. I mean, that's a lot of people for a ship. And just imagine all that. Just you ever seen that movie Battleship? Remember Battleship? You remember that movie Battleship?
That,
when they were battling these aliens, man, with this advanced technology and stuff. Man, that stuff is
right?
crazy. Just imagine the scene of that. But this time it ain't gonna be like it ain't gonna be no match because the Most High is going to destroy everything.
Like, all right. In verse 8, it says the second angel sounded, right? So he blows the horn. And it said,
Mm-hmm.
as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. You know, that's like another gigantic, super huge boulder. Imagine something the size of a
Mm-hmm.
mountain, right, being thrown into the sea. And it said a third part of the sea became blood, right, because of all the animals, right, that are in the sea, that they're dying, that they're dead, right? They're going to be dead. They're going to be bloody. And the sea's going to be blood. So what is that going to do to the food source that we're going to have on the world at that particular time?
Oh
Right?
man.
There's going to be a massive food shortage. Right? There's going to be a massive food shortage of all seafood in the earth. Right? There says a third part of the sea, and then it says a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and a third part of the ships were destroyed. Right? So all of these militaries around the earth that brag about having the greatest navy and all of these, you know, great submarines and tankers and all these things right here, right? They're all going to be destroyed. Boom. I wonder what this. I wonder truly, right? What is the size of this mountain, right?
Mm.
Because we know, man, when God speaks about a mountain, it has to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not a pebble, it's not a hill. Right? This is something gigantic that can encompass all the seas, the Atlantic, the Pacific, right? All of the seas that we have here, and kill up a third part of the life that's in the sea.
Mm.
That's huge. And then the Most High is not done yet. Go ahead, Doc.
Man, that's crazy, y'all.
That's a
That's
third part.
something to imagine. I mean, you can't even imagine, and I can only imagine when Daniel the Revelator when he was seeing all these things, he couldn't explain this stuff. You know, the angel was showing him all this stuff. Daniel didn't know what he was seeing because he
Right?
just tried to explain it the best way he could. All right, verse 10, and
Hold
then
up,
I'll let
wait.
you get.
Also, right, something else concerning that, right? If you this is why you have these folks out here, these Rothschilds, right? These you know, those folks out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got what is this dude, Bill Gates or whatever the guy is that keeps trying to push these vaccines and they're
Yeah,
trying to
Bill
kill
Gates.
everybody, right? Just think about why they're trying to cut down on the world's population. You don't think these folks believe in the scriptures? Right? They know the scriptures, they know the Bible. Right, so they want to try to inject you with as much viruses and as much vaccines as they can to kill off the population as much as they possibly can. Because guess what? They don't want to be starving. They don't want to fight you and me and everybody else for a piece of food when this time comes. They're trying to kill
Yeah.
everybody else so everybody can eat and everybody
Look
can
what
be
they
good.
look what they do to the food. Like America, I'm talking about America alone, and they know because it has the worst food because everything is processed. So when people go out to eat all the time, you know, people gain weight more. But they are poisoning the food and the water. You know, I lived in Germany for a couple of years, and they don't even use pesticides. Matter of fact, Monsanto. If y'all don't know who Monsanto is, Monsanto is a company that pretty much owns mostly all the seeds. They do GMOs, which stands for genetically modified organisms. So basically, what they do is they genetically modify the fruits that the Most High has made to produce seeds after their kind. They take these fruits and vegetables and they change the DNA structure of them so that they don't produce seed. You know, and that's an abomination because anything that doesn't produce seed is an abomination because it's totally against the Most High.
Why
So
do you think they do that?
Monsanto, yeah, Monsanto is doing this so they can get control, so they can push this food to people and everything. Because when you eat this stuff, it changes it really it does damage to your body.
Not only
Kills
that,
you off
right? But
slowly.
you can't grow your own food. Man,
No, you can't. Yeah.
I saw a short or like one of these videos. They had a brother, right? And I could feel his pain, right? He was frustrated that they charging you for grapes and
Mm-hmm.
apples. This is free stuff that grows on trees.
That's right.
You should be able to drive down the highway and there should be apple trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And orange trees all up and down the road. So the bums and anybody else on the earth that's there, you could just be able to pluck out a fruit and eat it. But these wicked ass heathen, they don't want you to have that stuff.
No,
So
and you
that's why
can
they
grow
try
your
to
own
have the
food.
GMO stuff to take out the seeds and do all this stuff. So you can't grow your own food, and they can continue to create this monopoly on the things that we need, the basic things that we need to survive.
Yeah, you can grow your own food. It's just that you have to go to Monsanto and get their seeds. You cannot take the seeds because there's no seeds. And this is why those of you that garden and stuff like that, I've been collecting seeds. All right, I collect different kinds of seeds. I've been collecting them for over the years. So that way when I plant stuff, that those seeds will reduce in itself. Well, with Monsanto's products, you can only plant it once, and then it messes up your dirt. It messes up all your fertile dirt. That's why when people use, like farmers and stuff, anytime that Monsanto's seed spreads into their farmland, it messes their stuff all up. And even some of the stuff that they try to plant with seeds and everything, it don't grow because now the ground has been all damaged. See, when you try to manipulate something that the Most High has created, it causes grave damage. All right.
You know what?
This is
Right?
wild.
We got to. You see the degradation that we are here in America. You don't think these heathen know that this is Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, right? This is what they're doing on purpose. They know that this is a land for it to be destroyed. So they're going to push the full amount of wickedness that they can. They're going to get every last drop that they can out of us. They don't care about families, right? They want everybody to work. They want to bleed you dry in America. They want everybody on their phones. They want everybody on social media. They want their eyes to behold all the wickedness that it has. And the Most High knows this, right? This place is doomed. The earth is doomed. There's nothing but negativity, right? Death and destruction is coming. It's never going to get better. This is why it's important. That's why me and Brother Daniel always harp on keeping the commandments, because we must understand that when you understand these scriptures, you'll see that it's not going to get better, right? The good guy wins by destroying everybody else. You understand? Like, you don't want to be in with the heathen, right? You don't want to be sucked in with the heathen doing what they're doing. You want to be made separate. You want to be holy. You want the Most High to notice you by keeping the commandments of the Most High God. If not, you're going to be caught up in the third part of people getting destroyed on the earth, right? That's you. That's your fate right there. The Most High telling you what's going to happen to you. This what happens to the wicked. Where we at in the scriptures?
We're at verse 10.
All right,
we're at verse 10. Yep, I'll finish that, and then you want to take the rest. It says, And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part. Notice that third part again. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of the waters. Y'all know when they're talking about the fountains of the waters, right? Where all these waterfalls and all that kind of stuff, and water where it comes out the mountains and everything. Ain't nothing gonna be safe. Ain't nothing gonna be safe. Right. But again, notice the third part that is always going to be. And when you equal up these third parts of each one, man, that's a lot of coverage. It's like the Most High is covering everything. He's not leaving anything untouched. All right. And this is the part right here. We can both bring this out. It says, and the name of the star is called Wormwood. All right. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. So that's why I wanted to bring out the whole wormwood in the beginning. So this part will become very understandable once we come across this verse and everything. Yeah, the Most High is going to poison the water.
God, right? Now, if you go back to verse 10, and it says, and the third angel sounded. And we're going to hear that sound. And there fell a great star from heaven. Right. So in the beginning, when we go back to Genesis, it says that that the Most High, he fastened the stars in the firmament. Right. So they're sitting up there. They're fastened in the firmament in the great looking glass that we have that is covered over the earth. They're fastened in there. Right. So after the thousands of years go by, right? There's going to one that's going to lodge loose. Boom. This is it, right? And it's going to be a large star. Who knows? It may be the star that everybody looks up and they call Mars, the red star. You ever see that? You know, that's a big star right there, right? But that's all it is. It's not a planet or anything like that. It's a star, right? It's probably going to lodge loose. It's going to come down, boom. And the thing about now, remember earlier we've already seen that the sea is going to be contaminated, the third part of the sea, right? You don't get Fiji water from the sea, right? You don't get these high alkaline waters from the sea. You get them from the rivers and the waterfalls, right? And the lakes. This is where Wormwood is going to hit. You're not going to get that good water anymore. You're not going to get the sweet water. You can go to the store. You can pay $5, for you a bottle of Fiji. You're not going to get that anymore. That's going to be destroyed. And it says, and the name of the star is called Wormwood. And a third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. You know what that means, right? That means that we're not going to catch it in time. You're not going to catch it in time. You're not going to know how fast the spread of the bitterness that star is going to contain, that poison that star is going to contain once it hits the lakes and the rivers. Right? The scientists of the earth, the heathen, right? They're not going to be able to catch it in time. It's already going to be packaged up in the bottles, and everybody's going to be at the store. They're going to be drinking their Fiji water, thinking that it's great. Oh, this is some great Fiji water. Don't even understand that. Boom, man, you drinking poison. You about to die. It said many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And this is coming on the earth into your local grocery stores. Man, the Most High is not playing. People have to die. The wickedness is overflowing on the earth. Imagine that, man. The Most High doing you dirty. Man, He's going to put the poison in your drink. You're going to buy it right out the store for $5 just to kill yourself. Wormwood. And the good water too, man. So all them rich heathens that like to get the
They're gonna be trying to get that. Hey, they're gonna try to go get that mountain water. Let's go get that mountain. Let's go moving the hills and get that mountain water. That's gonna be poison too.
Most High done got him. And you can't escape the Most High's judgment. The Most High made this earth and everything in it.
That's right.
It said the earth was without form and void. You understand? It says, man, this is something that the Most High shapes like clay. He's built it meticulously, right? It's been meticulously built. There's nothing that we can do, right, to avoid this. There's nothing that you can do to avoid the judgment that is coming upon the earth. The only thing that you can do, which is over and over and over again written in the scriptures, is to keep God's commandments. That's it. So it doesn't matter if you die, you get hit by the doggone asteroid the fallen star Wormwood, or you get hit with the giant flaming mountain, right? It doesn't matter if this happens to you, if you are keeping the commandments, because guess what? You're going to rise again. You're going to get that spiritual body. You're going to be able to take hold of the covenant. You're going to be able to enter into a city that's 1,500 miles high, right? Go through the giant pearl and get teleported in through the gates. Have your name written on there. See the giant angels for protection. Eat of the tree of life and live forever. Bask in the glory of the Most High God. And know and feel comfortable in yourself, right? You're going to never have a doubt. Imagine that. Living in a place that you never, ever have a single doubt. And you feel full to the max. Every single day you feel great. You feel great every day. Every day it feels like you won the lottery. You don't have a problem. You don't have no bills. You don't have nothing. You can just live and chill. Imagine that. Right? All you got to do is keep the commandments. All you have to do is obey. So it doesn't matter. Salvation, right? Salvation will be those that obey. If not, imagine getting hit with wormwood and then go down to the spirit world and discover that everything was real, that the Most High God was real, and you really do have to go to the lake of fire. You're gonna be trembling the whole time there. Just be like, dang, man, how'd I mess up like that? You know what I'm saying? Just knowing it's gonna happen to you. There's nothing you can do. And you see just imagine seeing the ultimate power of the Almighty God.
We've never seen nothing like that in our lifetime. Not even in the decade. The only time, the last time ever somebody saw something of that magnitude is when the Most High rained down fire and brimstone, and that was back in the days of Abraham and
Man,
Lot.
I'm always saying, man,
We have not
power of
seen
God.
like these little storms that are happening across the earth and everything. That ain't nothing. That's just the earth giving out birth pains. When the Most High throws it down, I mean, it's gonna turn up heavy. It's gonna turn up heavy, like we've never seen before. But we've never ever felt the whole earth shake at one time. You know, when everybody felt it. I'm not talking about just earthquakes here and there, but I'm talking about the whole earth shaking.
I mean, it says that no man has behold the Most High, right? You can't look up before you will die.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know how somebody jump out behind the door and scare the crap out of you, right?
Yep.
Imagine just to the point where, you know, you just being before him will kill you because you're frightened so bad. Imagine just living in that particular fright in the underworld, right? In the spirit world for all those years. If you don't keep the commandments, if you don't keep the faith of Hamashiach. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. Damn. Right? Darkness is upon the earth.
Now hold on, y'all. The fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon. Man,
you know how dark this going? This about to be right here, right? Imagine. It says a third part, right? So what does that mean, right? That's what it means. We got 4 parts make a whole. A third part of the stars, the third part of them were darkened, right? So imagine how bright it is outside right now. You see at nighttime, a starry night, boom, right? We're going to take a third of that away. You're going to have 25% of that left, right? 25% of all the stars we're going to have left. 25% of the moon's light we're going to have left. And 25% of the sun's light we're going to have left.
It's amazing how exactly. It's amazing how the Most High controls the luminaries. In the Book of Enoch, it talks about how all the angels and how certain angels who have given charge over the luminaries, they're the ones who make sure that the sun goes into their gates, his gates, the moon, his gates, everything is in line, and nothing has missed a beat ever since the Most High created these luminaries. And that's powerful. That is powerful. And this is why I said earlier that this whole round Earth theory is getting ready to be blown out the water. NASA is not going to be able to hide it any longer. The only reason why they're able to hide it and to deceive so many people is because of technology. You know, they can show you a round image and make you believe that there's some space shuttle that's sitting above the firmament floating around the Earth. And then they show you images on TV, and everybody believes it. It's trickery. It's sorcery. You know, I remember my mom told me when she was in the 9th grade that she remembered them teaching the flat Earth, and after that they took it out to schools, and that was in the South.
Yeah,
but it's amazing. It's just
1943. They took it out of the schools.
Yeah, and you know that was the same year that what's his name, Admiral Byrd. That guy, he was the Navy admiral. He was the youngest admiral ever. But that was the same year that he discovered land outside the Antarctica. The same year, and it was the same year or a year after that NASA was created. So go figure, y'all. Go figure. You see how the trickery would start to roll in and everything, and how they had to have a mass rush to keep everything covered up. And they was able to trick everybody about the moon landing and everything. I had everybody believing that stuff.
Yeah, stuff was impossible.
Yep, until technology started coming out and everything, they realized, oh man, this stuff is a scam. You know, how come they ain't went back? How come they ain't trying to make it? Now they talking about going to Mars.
Gone. Right.
Oh man.
Or anybody believe this stuff today when they tell you that the earth was made millions of years ago, right? You got to realize you have to have you got to have physical evidence that the instrument that you're using can actually go back a million years. Well, which means that had to be, you had to have something that you have to get from a million years ago that's actually been able to tell you the amount of time that's passed. They don't have that. There is no such thing as that. Right. That's why they don't know how long it takes you to get to the sun. Nobody knows the distance from here to the sun because you don't have a device that's able to travel that far to take that amount of measurements. Right. So when you listen to these people and they tell you, oh, yeah, this was millions of years ago. Well, then what metric are you using to measure that by? How can you tell me that was there millions of years ago when you don't have something that I know for a fact that can measure that? Nah, man, that's just something that you just got made up in your mind. That's theories, right? I believe
that's all it is. That's right.
I believe on recordable, you know what I'm saying? These are recorded history. Right? This is a recorded history. This is better than science right here. Right? You can't argue with recorded history.
You know why it's better than science? Because we're starting to see the things that was prophesied in the scriptures coming to pass.
God, bring it out.
Yep. And that's what we're seeing, these things. And these things are going to come to pass, y'all.
We got a lot more than this. We got a lot of scary stuff coming. You know, we just wanted to bring out Wormwood today and just some of it. Verse 13. And I beheld and heard a flying and I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of other voices of the shofar of the three angels which are yet to sound. Now, I want y'all to understand something. And I beheld and heard an angel flying. So what? This means that he heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, right? Boom. So the angel's flying through the midst of heaven. We're making, I guess, who knows, supersonic speeds, who knows? And at the same time, right, he's yelling with a loud voice, whoa, 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 into the inhabitants. What is this? What is going on right here? He is hearing Hebrew. So the ancient Paleo Hebrew is going to be back on the earth. Boom. And the angel is going to be yelling this in a language that most of us are not going to understand come that day. Flying at supersonic speeds across the whole earth, saying, hey, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth. By reasons of the other voices of the shofar, of the other three angels, which are yet to sound, which means that we're going to hear it, right? Just imagine an angel, when he blows the sound of the shofar, that's going to rock the heavens, right? Every angel that rocks his shofar and that blows his trumpet, right? We're going to hear it. It's not going to be a mystery whether or not God exists in these days. You're going to know when all of a sudden you see a third part of the moon and the third part of the stars and all of that was darkened. You're going to be like, hold up, man. Hold up. This is not Star Trek anymore. It's not Star Wars. We can't get to other planets. No, something's going on. We got somebody above us doing things. All right. Where's this stuff coming from? You got, what does it say in the beginning? It says the third angel sounded and there fell a great star. Hey, hold up. Scroll up some. Yeah, there it is. Verse 7. It said the first angel sounded and there followed hail
mingled with
and fire mingled with blood. Imagine how nasty that is, right? The Most High raining blood on you.
And not only that, the smell of blood. If you ever smell blood that putrefies, and it's terrible. It's bearable to inhale. So just imagine that too. So not just the nastiness of it, but man, the foul smell of it.
That's right. It's sticky, right? It's going to be cast upon the earth, and the third part of the trees were burnt up. Imagine that. Hey, what do you think is going to happen if the third part of the trees are burnt up? What do the Khan? I'll bring it out. What do you think is going to be hard to do in those days?
Breathe.
That's right. Why do you think the Most High God says that if he ain't cut it short, everybody will be destroyed? He about to bring the pain. The very first the very first angel, Most High God said, I'm about to cut your oxygen supply down to 25%.
Mhm.
Y'all about to have a hard time breathing over here. We're gonna
Yeah.
have stores selling oxygen tanks,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna have
This is
companies come up, they're gonna be selling, just like it's in what's that? Total Recall. I don't know if y'all remember that movie Total Recall, right? But it's gonna be like something like Total Recall. They're gonna be selling you oxygen supply tanks so that maybe you can survive, right?
Yeah.
Man, it's about to get real.
Now, prior to this is why I believe, man, that all this is going to happen right before, right after we go into wilderness, because in the previous chapter, when you read verse chapter 7, it talks about the saints being sealed. Hurt not the earth until all his 144,000 are sealed in their foreheads, in their hands. So, I believe by then, by this point, by the time the 7 trumpets fall, and any of our brothers who are not sealed and they still mingle with the heathens, oof, you're gonna have to suffer with them because the scriptures are plain, for those who are keeping the commandments that
You
will
can
be
see,
sealed.
like Brother Daniel said, at this point, man, the Most High, he doesn't really care about who. Everybody's gonna have to get that work because the work is done.
Yep.
144,000 are sealed, right? The kings of the nation are, he already has those locked in. So now it's trying to go ahead and bring the pain.
Yep. And this is why the heathens don't want to let us go, because the ones who know, they know who we are. The scripture is all about Israel. It's all about Israel. There is no spiritual Israel. There's no such thing as a spiritual Israel. Even when these heathens are preaching from our Bible, they even have to acknowledge that these were Israelites. These were Israelites. Common sense ought to tell you, fool, why are you trying to insert yourself into our Bible? But all throughout the scriptures, it's all about Israel. There is not one time where it's talking about salvation for the heathens, salvation for these non-melanin people. No, they did this. They interjected themselves in there and took scriptures like there's no Greek Jew or there's no Greek Jew or Gentile. All are one under Mashiach. Dumb fool, they don't even know what that's talking about. That's talking about the southern and northern tribes. But yet they interject themselves into that. And that's why so many Christians are so deceived. Oh, y'all racist. God loves everybody. And I have no idea what they're talking about. They're so brainwashed by their enemies. America, the greatest melting pot in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The heaviest, the heaviest of Babylon. Because when you think everything like, don't get me wrong, other countries, Europe, they bad too, but man, America, all the stuff that they're doing, and man, it's crazy wild. It's crazy wild. Everything from any wicked thing from A to Z, they're doing it. And there's no remorse, no regret, nothing.
Man.
And this is why they're trying to cause our people to constantly sin in the law. Why do you think they heavily push these holidays? And when y'all see TV shows and stuff like that, movies, why do you think they make it a habit to make sure that they put a brother, whether it's either with a white woman or some Asian woman, they'll make sure that brother is with a white woman or some other heathen nation woman, never with their own. Even the commercials are like that, which I don't have cable because I streamline everything. But even some of that stuff, it has you'll see it them pushing. Why? Because they're telling you what they're trying to tell you is that they're dying off, and they're using us to try to survive their genealogy, and they're using us to do it through. That's why when you get with these other nations, your baby turns out to be a mamzer and everything. That's like becoming a new black. When I was growing up, it was kind of rare, but now that's all you see are mamzers.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting crazy.
I want to bring out another point dealing with verse 7. It says, all the green grass was burnt up.
Mm-hmm.
All of green grass. Man, there's not going to be any more fresh lawns, right? You're not going to have that sod or any of that stuff, man. It's about to be a wasteland out there. Y'all understand what's about to happen? Most High is about to bring a wasteland upon the earth, right? Why? Of course, the Most High should. Man, we got these heathens. They say they're gonna take the seeds out the fruits, so you can't make your own fruit. They making GMO stuff. They giving you what they want to give you. They making everybody fat, giving you all this, all these kind of weird foods and stuff, causing like Brother Daniel was saying, every commercial you look up, all of these things you see them promoting the mixture of races. The Most High don't even want you to mix your fabrics. If he don't want you to even mix your fabrics, how much more do you think he wants you to mix seed? Right? This stuff is wicked all the way around. These heathen are trying to take you down into the void where you can never come back. If it wasn't for the promise of the Most High God that's saying that we'll have a remnant left, I truly believe that us as a people will just succumb to the ways of the heathen.
Man, well, it's already like that now, for the most part. And you know what? And I truly believe the Most High allowed that to be on purpose because they weren't meant to be in the kingdom anyway. It wasn't meant for them to be. Just like when the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart, he hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he could destroy them, so he can convince them to try to go hard against Israel. And he hardened his heart. And the Most High ended up destroying him completely and his army. Drowned them in the Red Sea. And that's the way he's doing with these heathens. He is purposely putting the spirit on these heathens to hate us because the Most High is trying to show us that these people are our enemies. But our people don't want to see it. They'll fight you to the death if you try to unplug them from their slave masters. They'll fight you to the death and turn against you for trying to give them truth. So the Most High is going to let them do their thing and destroy them so they can suffer. So because all they're doing is building heaps of coals on their own head. It's going to get ugly, Israel. We're getting ready to see stuff on a president level like we've never seen before. And, like I said, me and Brother Aton was talking. You have all these immigrants that are coming in. China's buying up land like crazy in America. Where do you think these folks are going? These folks, these middle-aged men from Venezuela, these middle-aged men from China, where do you think they're going? They're going somewhere. Nobody knows where they're going. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's, it's because everybody's too busy on social media. Everybody's too busy looking at the latest fashion, looking at all these crazy Hollywood characters and worrying about who's wearing the latest fashion, who's showing their breasts, too busy watching old boy Kanye West and his new wife walking around in the mall with a damn thin bra strip on, showing all her breasts. You know what I'm saying? That's what the world is caught up. That's what the world is caught up into. That's what our people are caught up into. And when this thing hits, well, you're gonna wake up one day, man, and it's gonna be in a full invasion. It's gonna be full blown out civil war.
This is why Brother Daniel and ourselves, we every now and then we'll talk about prophecies, right, and what's coming on the earth, and the two prophets, and all of this other stuff that we got, the destruction, and this, that, and the third, right? We'll talk about it every now and then. But the reason why we don't really harp on that too much is because the main thing is that for you to keep the commandments,
that's it.
That even if you do go through some of these things, right, you will be saved in the end, right? That's how you skip to the front of the line, right? It's not really worrying about these things. It's just really concentrating on obeying God, because those is how you get the blessings, right? Obeying God is what gets you the blessings. It helps you avoid hard times, even though we're all going to go through some kind of tribulation, right? Some kind of test. Most High God, He's going to put you through, right? But that doesn't mean, right, that He has forgotten about you, right? If you're being put to the test or anything like that, if anything, that means that He's paying attention to you, and that He's giving you the test to make sure that you're worthy for the kingdom. When that time happens, you got to make sure that you're standing firm, you're standing on your square, and you're keeping these commandments to the best of your ability, so that the Most High God will accept you.
That's right. Don't get it twisted, Israel, because the scripture says in Proverbs that a wise man seeth evil coming and he prepares for it. And so if you can help yourself, start preparing. It's nothing wrong with keeping, a couple of months supply of stuff, to happen for a rainy day, because you don't want to be out there in the midst of heathens when they start panicking and you're trying to get last minute stuff. There's nothing wrong with being prepared. The Most High always wants us people to be prepared. Now, as far as hoarding and just stocking up like like you're gonna be trapped up for 30 years now. That's overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know the outcome. We don't know the outcome of anything. But it's always good to be prepared as well. You know, even Abraham, when he had flocks, he had land. Abraham wasn't no poor man. He was your modern day millionaire, but he was very humble. You know, he had property. So I know some of you got property. Start building on that, and hey, start building. You know, plant your own garden. If you got seeds that can reproduce seeds, build your greenhouse, plant that. Because I'm telling you, every bit of that's gonna come in handy in these times of trouble. So if the Most High is giving you the ability to prepare and do that, then that's what you're commissioned to do.
Yep. Remember, Israel, man, this is going to be a tough time that's coming. Like, it's not going to be, morality is not going to be on the earth, right? Yeah. If we're living in a wasteland, right, where it's hard to breathe because a third of the trees have been destroyed, which produce oxygen, right? If all of that is going on, right, man, what do you think is going to happen? Especially if you're a woman that's uncovered and things of that nature, man. We got predators out there, right? These dudes are not going to have any kind of morality. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be free to reign now. There's not going to be a law enforcement system to try to get these dudes or whatever, right? This is why it's important to keep the commandments of the Most High God.
Man, I bet you're gonna have women out there twerking, man, while the hell mingled with blood and fire is gonna be falling.
Nah, man.
I guarantee you, man. Hey, look, it's gonna burn their behinds up too.
Man.
Yeah, let's see how fast they can twerk then.
Man, damn Pookie and Ray Ray. They're gonna run. Listen, Israel, this is just we got a lot of destruction coming. I mean, it is what it is. We have a lot of things that are coming on the earth that is going to destroy a lot of people. A lot of blood is going to be shed. I'm serious.
Man,
right? We really have to
never seen before.
Right, like we've never seen before. The very first trumpet, the Lord makes it hard for you to breathe. He's not playing. Right? You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that is. Just imagine how you know, that's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's a hellified military tactic. The first thing I'm gonna do is take out the oxygen. So all the heathen, even if they do try to fight or do anything, man, they're gonna be struggling to breathe. Man, do you understand? Right? The health is gonna go downhill. People are gonna be looking crazy out here. Death is gonna be at an all-time high. Most High is coming back to kill, y'all. I mean, like, can't y'all see this stuff? It's not getting ready. Just look at it. I mean, like, if you don't think it's happening, just look at where we're at right now in America. Look at what's going on out here. It's like nobody has any sense at all. The women are just out there butt ass naked, right? They don't care, right? We got everybody. We got the folks in politics, right? Man, they're making all kinds of crazy rules. You got actual homosexuals, right? You got people that can't understand that because they're born a male, they're supposed to get with the opposite gender. They like same-sex marriages. You see what I'm saying over here? We got a lot of crazy stuff that's going on, and it's not getting better. This stuff
This is how you know the scriptures are true.
It's getting more progressive day by day by day by day. It's nothing but more progressive wickedness on the earth.
This is how you know the scripture stands on the word. This is how you know that the scripture stands on its very word, because all these things that we're talking about have come to pass. It's never been this bad before. You know, me and Brother Eitan are pretty old school. I'm older than he is, but you know, we never. If you talking about you were gay or whatever, you know, you had to keep that quiet, because that was rare. That was very rare. And you know, diseases, AIDS, that was something that gay white folks got. You know, that's the way it was back then. But now wickedness is rewarded to the highest level. And remember, the scripture said in Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet." That's what we see right now. So everything that's righteous has been flipped around and made wicked. And people rejoice over wickedness more than they do over righteousness. That's why virginity is frowned upon, especially among you sisters and these younger sisters. You know, to catch them at a young age, it's tough, because a lot of these sisters are growing up in single parent homes, you know, and without that affection of a man, and how to choose a man, they're gonna turn to the very first man they meet, or that tells them that hey, you look good, or you bad. They're gonna get it homage to them. It'll be a Pookie and Ray Ray. Then it starts all then the curses start all over again. It starts that regeneration, no mess again. Babies out of wedlock. It's getting worse. It's getting worse, Israel. As a matter of fact, it's getting so worse. I'm curious to see what the new numbers are. Last time I checked was like 77 point something percent of black babies born are born with mothers. That's not to include the amount of babies that are being killed by their mothers through abortion. So it's just a sad notion that we're witnessing right now with our people. Our people are like are just scattered. Are like, just think of a picture of a bunch of black dots that's just scattered. You got your Christian churches, you got your Fiarity groups, you got all these different groups and politicians and educators. But when you look at how a web is formed when it's tied together with strings and it's all the knots are together. That's what the power is. And our people are suffering from individualism. That's the problem. Everybody's moving at the beat of their own drum. That's why we can't come together as a people. That's why you got these different camps and sub camps and sub camps and everybody got a slightly different doctrine that they're bringing. Everybody, it's crazy, y'all. I've never seen anything like it. It's like America is the only place where
the Christian church.
Yeah, exactly. And America is the only place where I see where you have more churches. You have more churches in America than any other place on the earth. All these churches, like if you live in the suburbs or something like that, I guarantee you around you, especially if you live in the hood, man, you can probably count about 40 churches within 40 churches within a 10-mile radius. Probably not even that.
Look, Israel, the Christian church doctrine, right, and the camp doctrine, if you really look at it and break it down, it's pretty much the same. It's one and the same because it says that no matter what happens, right, that you can be saved in the end. Like the camp doctrine tells you that all of Israel, they're going to be born again back in the kingdom, even if you're wicked, right, and you never kept the commandments, you're going to be born again in the kingdom as a baby, never remembering the wickedness that you created, that you did against the Father, right? So that's going to be, that's just like the Christian doctrine. All you have to do is believe in sweet Jesus, and you can be saved no matter what kind of atrocities that you've done, right? That's the same doctrine. The real doctrine is the doctrine that Brother Daniel and myself and other brothers like us, they teach. They teach you, listen, there is no one save all at the end. If you don't obey, you're going to die. And that's the bottom line. Nobody likes to hear that. Nobody likes to hear that you're really going to have to take accountability for your wickedness. Nobody wants to hear that right now. Right? But that's what we're teaching because that's what the Bible says. That's what Hamashiach teaches. That's what the Almighty, the Most High, has said over and over again in the Scriptures. You're not going to die and all of a sudden be born again in the kingdom as a baby. That's not happening. It's important to obey God. Why do you think that Job went through all the stuff that he did and didn't curse God one time?
That's right.
You know what time it was. Think about all the prophets that we've had, all the righteous brothers and sisters that we read about in the Scriptures, and the pains that they went through and the trials and the tribulations that they've gone through in order to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Oh, just boy, so you know, the Maccabees, man, no boy is filleted him for not eating pork at the king's table.
Just so you know, Job was an Israelite. He wasn't no Edomite. Job was from the tribe of Issachar.
Right?
So,
man, it is extremely important, Israel. Like I said, like every time we get on here, we're gonna harp about keeping these commandments because at the end of the day, that's what it really boils down to. The Scriptures say in Babylon, it says that it's going to destroy Babylon the Great, as it did. It's going to be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. What was Sodom and Gomorrah known for? Right, sexual immorality. Sexual immorality. That's what it was made. That's what it was known for. What is the United States and all the West? Right? What are they starting to become known for? Sexual immorality. That's a problem. God does not like that. It's like, history. If you can't learn from your history, you're gonna die in the future.
And it's poisoning our people too. It's like it's bleeding over. That's why I hate that. That's why I hate the fact that we're over here mingled with the enemy. That's why I'll be so glad when the Most High takes us into the. The longer we stay blended with our enemies, the more corrupt our people are going to get. It's like we're becoming just like them. Like seriously. And we talk about harping on the commandments. Is the reason why we're in this situation because we don't keep the commandments. But hey, we can go on all day, we can go on all day about this, y'all. But we just wanted to give y'all, just throw out some gems for you on the new moon. Don't want to take away too much time from your new moon because I know many of y'all are meditating, getting the scriptures. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to get back into the scriptures.
That's right.
And been working on some stuff, working on new precepts and everything. So that's how you do it, though. Rehearse these righteous acts.
Con.
All right, Israel.
All right, Israel.
That's all I have, brother.
Con. Happy new moon, everybody. Shabbat new moon, Israel.
Shabbat new moon, and we'll see you soon. By the grace of the Most High, we'll see you next week. All right.
Con.
Until then, stay blessed. Stay blessed, y'all. And look, encourage our people to keep these commandments.
You don't want to get hit upside the head with Wormwood. Wormwood.
Yep, we got to encourage many people as possible because we got to get out of here, y'all. I'm tired of this place. We got to get up on out of this place.
The
longer people, we got to work for these heathens and be around them all the time. And man, I want an Israelite, all Israelite black utopia. I don't want to be around none of these folks. But until then, we gotta go through the stuff. Gotta get that work.
Imagine that,
right,
man.
Israel.
Like utopia, man. No shady niggas. You have no niggas.
Oh man,
brothers and sisters. That'll be great.
Be like it was back in the days of King David, boy.
Brothers smiling at each other. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Brotherhood. Yep.
Doing good, brother. You? Yeah, brother, I'm good. You want a piece of this lamb? No, brother, I'm good, man. That's man, that'll be a great man.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Yasharel. So we're gonna bid you a Shabbat Shalom new moon.
And stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.
All right.